Evening all, welcome from Dark Evesham. Happy
Hi, John.
Valentine's.
Yeah,
Happy
happy
Valentine's.
Valentine's, everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
sunny day in Norfolk today. Cold, sunny, so it's been a real revelation. It's been lovely.
It wasn't too bad. I went into town. I went into Cheltenham, and there was no wind when here, and I didn't bother driving in. I just got the bus in. But as soon as I got into Cheltenham and got off the bus, the wind picked up, and it was absolutely freezing. Look, nice day,
Yeah.
but just really cold. But the big plus is it was still light till about 5:30 in the evening. So the nights are getting lighter. It's slowly getting there. Anyway,
Spring is just around the corner.
Absolutely. Happy Valentine's, everybody. And today, mainly, we're going to be talking with, obviously, Chris Hollier, because that's the other person on the screen. Let's have a quick update of where you are with your Tiger Avon rescue and what events you're planning to come at. The last time I saw you'd done the front grille on it, which you can talk a little bit about that, how you made that. You did some really nice graphics on the wheels as well. Not white wall type style. I like those. And then you made your own 7 for the grill as well with your own particular font. So just give us a quick update of where you are with it. And you're close now, aren't you? You're very close to it finished.
Yeah. We're very close. So I want to start with an apology. In early December, I came down with this chest infection that half the world seems to have had.
We've all had it. I've had it. Yeah.
I thought a week, maybe a couple of weeks, and I'll be through it and all the rest of it. All of December and all of January, I was laid up. I couldn't do a thing. So what I was hoping to have the Avon finished by New Year, but it's completely destroyed my schedule. So apologies to everybody who's waiting for updates. I haven't moved on a whole lot since the last one you saw in December. But I have done the nose cone is now mounted. I made the grill insert, properly spaced wire mesh.
That was from welding rods, wasn't it? Was it welding rods?
From brazing rods, yes.
Brazing rods, sorry, yes,
But because they're brass brazing rods, means you can solder them together. So you don't get the same level of distortion you would get if there were welding rods and you tried to weld them together, because there's less heat involved. So they're all soldered together. And I've also made my own aluminium number 7 to go on the front, trying to use the inspiration from the original Lotus number 7 font to make it look correct.
I know when you looked at it, you had a couple of goes at that, because you've got to get that particular style of font is specific to the number 7 for a 7-spot car. It's not like Italics, New Roman or Arial. It's a specific. So you've got to. I know you said you did one. It didn't look right. You got your file out and file it, because especially the top of the 7's got a definite kind of like dip to it, hasn't it?
And you look at it and you think, oh, it's just a number 7. I just thought number 7, but it's not. And you don't have to know anything about 7s at all. Not even be an enthusiast to look at it and think that's not right. And it's got a very slight curve on the top. It's got a little tiny drop on the bottom of the arm of the 7. And then the main stem's got a little curve to it. There's so many little finite details. But that's all made now. It's not finished. I'm still trying to decide what colours to do, because the nose cone GRP is yellow. So I've now got the grill, the actual mesh grill, to go in there, and the number 7 to go on the front. So I've got to decide what colours those are. Let's just finish them. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, colour could come after.
Yeah, but since I've last done an update, I've been doing some bits of wiring, not as much as I should have done. I've now got all the lights, all the indicators, brake lights, everything else is working, but I haven't got the main, and I've got all the secondary dials working and all the switch gear working, but I haven't got the speedo, rev counter, and shift light working yet.
Because that was the donor wiring you used. No,
it was actually a Tiger wiring loom that was supplied
from Tiger. Yeah.
But it was actually terminated and sorted out to use all the original Ford Sierra dials and the switch gear on the column and the column switches. And I've used Triumph dials. I've done away with all the column switch gear because this car is designed to be more for competition rather than road use. It'll be both, but more for competition. You don't really want anything behind the steering wheel, because you're thrashing away. You really are going at it. So dash mounted switches, which are a little bit further away, would seem a little less practical for road use, but far better for competition, because there's nothing in the way of your fingers when you're twirling the steering wheel.
You're not going to knock it accidentally and kill the engine or whatever. Or it doesn't matter if you turn your lights on, or you're driving around with your indicators on, driving left or whatever. But you don't want to be watching some of the cut-off switches and that kind of stuff, or fuel pump if you've got a fuel pump switch.
Also, I've not used the steering column mounted steering lock, which to some people are going to think, well, you need that, or anti-theft and all the rest of it. But if you've ever had a steering lock come on accidentally while you've been going over the curbs, you will realise why it's not on there.
You don't need it.
You don't want anything that could possibly interfere with you pointing in the car direction you want it to go. So we'll have to
never thought of
that. Anti-theft parts.
If you want to put it through IVA, yeah.
So I mean, IVA insist you have two methods of anti-theft. So if you've got a really good hidden battery isolator and a really good starter inhibitor switch, you're just about going to comply if you get the tester on a good day.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be honest, what use is a steering lock if somebody's going to come and steal the car? All they'll do is they'll come along with a recovery truck, lift the front up and drag it away. So the steering lock is utterly redundant anyway.
Yeah. I must admit on ours, because it was a Ford 2, I keep saying it, Ford 2-litre Pinto engine converted to a bike engine. So it's got the Sierra barrel steering lock, and the steering lock arms the ignition so you can start the thing. But there's also still the original bike key spliced in. I don't know how it's done, because wiring is not my bag. So it's actually got the original bike key, which has got the transponder in it, because if the ECU does not recognise that or see that transponder, the ECU just says, nah, sorry mate, bye, and just shuts down. It just will not do anything. So
it's great safety feature, great anti-theft feature, let's call it.
It just, the ECU says, that's it, no, can't see the key, goodbye. And that's the end of it. But so great. You've had your first startup now as well. So have you driven it yet?
No, I haven't driven it at all yet. I've started it a couple of times. As I said earlier, the sickness thing during December and January has thrown everything out of line. And during the course of February, we're middle of February now. I've been playing catch up on all the things I should have been doing for the last 2 months. So it's taken a very much a back seat. Whereas now I'm back in the workshop, I'm feeling fine again now. All the symptoms of everything that went on health-wise have gone away. So next week I'm going to get back on it.
Crack on again.
Finish the wiring in a day or two. I've still got a little bit of dash wiring to do. I've got to make the passenger seat. I've got to bleed the brakes out. I've got to do all the fluids all the way through, because the diff's empty, gearbox is empty, engine's got some in. I've got to fit a manual choke conversion kit to the.
I saw that on your carb rebuild when you're doing the carb rebuild. Yeah, that was fascinating. Right. Yeah,
because I've taken the automatic choke off for the same reason as the steering lock. You don't want anything messing about while you're in competition. If I want the choke on, I want the choke on, not the car's decided the choke's going to come on. So
exactly.
Manual choke conversion kit. I know when that knob's pushed in, the mixture is where I've set it.
Exactly. Yeah. You mentioned that.
We're almost there. So.
You mentioned about the passenger seat as well, because you've actually built your own seat for the driver's side, which was out of foam, wasn't it? Which is, again, if people have missed that, if people are struggling to get into their sevens, have a look at that, because it's almost like just a bench seat, isn't it? Type of fare with.
In effect, it's 2 bits of plywood and a whole load of high density chip foam, and you're halfway. I'm sure you've seen these racing car seats where they get a bag full of expanding foam. They sit the driver in and they set the foam off, and it makes itself to the shape of the driver. All well and good, but messy and not very good in the sort of cars we're looking at. The other end of that scale is when you buy a manufacturer's seat and try and fit it in your car, and they usually don't in little 7s, especially somebody my size. It puts me way too high in the car. So by doing this chip foam thing, I can actually put the bits of wood where I need it in the first place, and then build up the layers of foam and build it up and build it up and build it up until I feel properly supported in the car. And then when I've got all that bit done, then put the covering over it.
Exactly. Yeah. So looking forward to seeing the finished article on that as well. Brilliant. And you displayed your car at Malvern, which I know it went down really well, and you had a lot of people coming to say hello and asking questions. You had a major fan there as well, which was Jake McGee's mum.
Hi, Jake's mum. Yeah. Hi, Debbie. How are you?
Hi, Jake. Hi, Jake's mum.
Yeah. No, we had it was a lovely weekend because I had absolutely no pressure. I didn't need to sell anything. I didn't need to convince anybody I was doing the right thing. I was there purely to show the car and talk to people, which is great. What a lovely way to spend a couple of days. And
absolutely.
I got some really nice comments from lots and lots of people. If only the weather had been a little bit better on the Sunday. It was a bit disappointing because
Saturday was brilliant, but then the Sunday, we did another couple of streams with Derek Munders and his Robin Hood, and he did a video. It was on the Sunday morning. All you could see was mist, and it looked really misty and cloudy and drizzly, and so it's a shame about the Sunday, but. Still a good turnout on the Saturday, and still a good turnout on the Sunday, but it probably not as good as it would have been. But this is England.
Weather, you've got to deal with it.
But exactly.
Early on the Saturday morning, I went over to the Northwest Kit Car Owners Club stand, and I saw Trevor Hamer. I don't know Trevor. I've barely spoken to him, and he was putting stands up and flags up and everything else. And I said, well, this is me, and I'm here with the car over there. And I was looking for you, but you weren't there. And
I couldn't make it, unfortunately. He
said, I'll make you a cup of coffee. And I said, you're fine, Trevor. I'm going to wander back over there. You've got loads to do. You're really busy. And I didn't see him again for the rest of the weekend. And I thought, and then we were both within, 200 yards of each other. But so I'm looking forward to meeting Trevor and actually catching up with him properly and saying, right, okay, let's have a proper conversation.
Absolutely, because you're coming. You hope to come to Kitfest as well. Obviously, Trevor will be there, so you'd probably catch up with him then, which is 4th, 5th, and 6th of April.
Well, again, for me, because it's not a pressurised sales event, it's ideal. I can just turn up with the car. I can swan about. I can talk to everybody who wants to look at it. If I feel like having a wander around and not talking to anybody, I can just disappear for an hour. There's no pressure. I don't know if I'll take the car up the strip purely because it won't have been tested enough by the time I get there to be confident in it. And what I don't want to do is embarrass myself by launching it and breaking something or disappearing.
Dropping oil or debris on the track or something. You can still.
It's not worth the risk. The risk reward thing is just not quite well balanced enough. It would be a jolly. It'd be a bit of fun, but if it did break halfway up, is it worth it? Another time, maybe.
You still got there's going to be a parade up on the Saturday and on the Sunday. You could just trundle it down the track on that. You're not driving it in anger, but you're just almost like a drive down your drive or something, or where you're testing it or whatever. So it's not you're not gunning it, you're not spinning the tires up and that kind of thing. So you can always take part in that because that always gets great press coverage as well. It really does.
Delighted to be part of that, but also I've in the last 3 or 4 days I've booked the Hiil Climb Academy Day for August, where the Tiger is coming out in anger. It will be fully tested by then, and we're going to get it out there, and I'll record the whole thing, and we'll show what a little home built 7 on a budget can do, and how and if we can get footage inside and outside, that will make a lovely wrap to the whole Tiger Avon series.
Yeah, and it'll then tie in with why, and what you've done to the car as well. You know, you've tuned the Pinto engine yourself. You've done things like angled the clocks using your 3D printed or whatever it was, so they're angled towards the driver. So flat dials, especially in sunlight, you ain't gonna see them. You ain't got time to see them. To be fair, so you want them clear and that kind of thing. And you probably go just talk us through the rules maybe as well, because I mean, I looked at it. There's so many different classes, but you can literally just turn up, and as long as you've got the right car, they will find a class for you to run in, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, with the academy days, because they are designed to be a training day rather than a racing day, they're very, very friendly and approachable. And you walk the course first in the morning, then you do one drive up the hill accompanied with an instructor with you, and just talks you through roughly where to look for and what the course feels like. Then you have 4 or 5 runs on your own, getting a little bit faster. You break for lunch, but what you don't realise is that all the time you've been doing your 4 or 5 runs on your own, they've been recording you, and then you sit back over lunch and think, oh God, did I really do that on that corner?
I've got that corner. I've got that corner wrong.
Show you what you're doing, and then you get another accompanied run in the afternoon, and you do another 4 or 5 runs up the hill. So
that sounds brilliant.
If you went hill climb racing, you'd probably get 3 runs maximum during the course of a day.
I was going to say some of them were down to 2. Some of them were down to 2 when I've looked at it. Yeah, right. And it's expensive 2 runs.
It is. But on the academy days, you're getting 10 or 12 runs up the hill,
and with an instructor.
With an instructor. It's value for money wise, it's very, very good. And the lunch was superb. I will give them that 10 out of 10 for that. So I'm going to be approaching the organisers up there and saying, will you work with me on the recording? I don't want to fight them, because that's the last thing I ever want to do. But it could be a good promotional tool for them to get people on the academy days, and also a really good exposure on the Tiger of how well it's done on this little budget build.
Yeah, because I think that we initially, or we on 7 Spot, we initially called it a $2,000 budget. I think you probably spent a little bit more than that, but you're not far off.
I'm not far off. I'm just south of 3 at the moment. So I think all in finished, it's going to be 3,250, 3,3, somewhere around about there. Not much more.
That is back in the old Robin Hood days, and that's going back a bit. I mean, for that performance, for that money is astonishing. But you I don't want to dwell too much on it, because people can see it in the previous videos of why you bought the kit that you did. But you did get a bit of a steal on the kit, didn't you? Looking at all the stuff that was in it, that came with it.
I was very lucky. Yeah. And I was also fortunate to be in the position to be able to pounce the moment it appeared. So everything fell into place at the right time.
And you've also got obviously a lot of experience, because you've built 160 cars or something ridiculous. And you've got
I'm on about 100, a little bit less than that. One about 130. I think this is 132. This one
132. But then you've got a cracking workshop.
Yeah, but 133 and 134 are already in the workshop, already waiting. So it doesn't stop. It's just relentless.
Yeah, because I didn't even know you got a Cobra, and it popped up in one of our interviews. Which is that one of the ones in your shop at the moment? Because I know you said you're going to be working on that and getting that up and running as well. It's your own personal one as well. It's not for a customer.
It is. It's not in the workshop yet. It is for me, but it's not in the workshop yet. That's due to come in. One of the ones we're building at the moment, I'm not going to tell you any more details about it than that, but it's going to an owners club rally in June.
Wow.
So
you haven't got long.
Really hard on it. We started it at the beginning of January. It's a completely bespoke one-off build. It's not a kit as such. We've made the chassis, we're going to make the body, we're going to do everything else, but it needs to be there by the end of June. So if we can get that one in place, then the Cobra comes in afterwards.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think I kind of know the one you're talking about. I'm not going to say anything, but you'll have to watch it. Because you've got your YouTube channel now up and running as well, so you'll be featuring a lot of this on your YouTube channel.
Sort of. I'm very new to YouTube. I don't really know how to make all of it work yet. I've got some ideas,
Yeah.
And I'm spending so much time building the cars. I don't want to lose that time by doing all the editing,
All the
filming,
video and
everything.
editing. Yeah.
Takes,
Yeah.
it just takes huge amounts of time to do YouTube stuff. When you can transition over to it fully and say, right, this is now my job doing YouTube and I can earn some money from it, then it makes sense.
That makes a different,
But at the moment, it's just a little bit of a side interest. Oh,
yeah,
excuse me.
Yeah, no. This is what I found. I was speaking to quite a few people, the likes of Bizzle, Tommy's Tools and Track, and certainly both of them said the actual video editing and then uploading and putting graphics in and putting titles and then uploading to YouTube and then putting out that, you could do a 20-minute job on the car, but it's going to take you an hour and a half, 2 hours to edit that video down and get it up. And you're right. Sometimes just get the clips in the can. You can always do it afterwards. But yeah, otherwise you spend, as you say, you're spending more time editing videos that half the people might not be interested, won't look at. Yeah, you're better off building the car and doing it afterwards as like a time sequence or whatever. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Yeah. Right, brilliant. We've been on the phone for nearly half an hour, Chris. It's great to catch up with you and your Tiger Avon build. You are coming to Kitfest. So if anybody has been watching the series and wants to have a chat with you about how, there's so much stuff you've done on your car that you can probably talk to people more about, like changing the chassis, widening the footwell. You've made your own fly screen out of aluminium. You've angled all your dials. I was going to mention wheels as well, because you put like this pinstripe round, but it's not actually a pinstripe, was it? I think it looks stunning. You've done it in yellow, same colour as the bodywork.
Yeah.
What was that?
It's a protector strip that they sell for. It's like an anti-curbing device for alloy wheels. Whenever you see really posh alloys, very often somebody's driven up curb, there's scratches all the way around the outside of it. So they sell this preformed polyurethane strip that you can stick on the outside of the wheel, which acts as a curb protector, but they also do it in colour. And with a bright yellow car, I've painted the wheels black. Yes. And with a black tyre on the outside, you lose all the feature of the wheel and tyre. So by putting this little tiny yellow stripe around the outside and then putting give an accent, and the pretend wheel spinner in the middle, the spinner nut, it's only a make-believe because it's held on by wheel nuts behind the cover. Yeah, it just gives this lovely little colour accent in there, and you need to know nothing about cars to look at something and think, I quite like that, and it's one of those little things. It's nothing to do with a technical feature. It's just that makes that look quite nice.
Bit of bling. But I say bling. Bling is probably the wrong word, because bling is what boy racers put on. They think it looks better, but it doesn't. It's bought from shops like Halfords. I'm not locking Halfords, by the way. They do some stuff.
I would say considered design.
Yes.
So it's a bit of the design you thought about and thought, okay, it just needs just a little bit,
a little something to finish that off. Yeah. So if anybody is going to Kitfest, and hope you are going to Kitfest, Chris will be there with his stand with 7 Spot and the rest of everybody else. If you want to go and have a chat to him about what he's done to his car, just a bit of advice on how he's made stuff, do go and have a chat with him. Yeah, I'm sure he'll. Definitely have a chat with you and explain what he's been doing. So, brilliant talking to you, Chris. Hope you're feeling better now, and we'll catch up again soon. Bye-bye.
Yep, good stuff. I'm firing on all 8 cylinders again. So we'll catch up again very soon, and hopefully end of next week, which should be 3rd, maybe 4th week in February, I'll be able to show you driving up the driveway.
Absolutely, that's what we're so looking forward to. That is another major milestone. So in the meantime, Chris, great to catch up with you. Be seeing you.
Yeah. Good luck, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers now.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.